Oh, you are recording.
I think it's
Oops.
recording already.
Okay.
Just
I tried to
leave
hit
that in.
stop and it won't stop, so it's just going.
So again,
we'll just leave that in.
3, 2, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1. Yeah, boy, this is really pulling the curtain back. Okay.
Welcome to the wonderful world behind the scenes.
And on that note, welcome to the Horror Returns. Everyone, thanks for joining us. I'm Lance, and we've also got our hosts, Brian and Philip. And this show goes out to the one we love. That's right, folks. I'm quoting REM. It is Jeff Laramore's Patreon picks. Jeff, unfortunately, couldn't make it on with us, but he sends our love. And we've got to really ask you, Jeff, about what's going on in the machinations of your brain with the picks of some of these movies. But we'll get a chance to do that. So we're shouting out to you, Jeff. Please send us an email and explain in great detail why you picked these 3 films. We will have
pineapple on pizza.
We'll definitely have you on a future show, man. And you've still got your commentary coming. Today is election day, which I didn't know we voted on anything in Texas. Philip, did you?
Yeah, I didn't actually vote, but yeah, I saw them.
Is it
that why all these stupid ads are playing on YouTube like every 5 minutes?
Probably. It's a big election day
sense.
everywhere.
Yeah, that would make sense.
But I don't think we were even voting for people. It was just propositions.
Hey, dude, was it legalizing marijuana? Well, it doesn't matter. I'm moving to Florida. Fuck it. I can get my medical card.
Oh, yeah, good point. Damn, I should have went.
You still need to get a card in Florida?
Yeah, it's medical only there, man. You know.
Well, that's okay. That's we saw how Oklahoma was with that.
Oh yeah. Oh, and they're all over the place in Florida too. But I've noticed they're a lot more discreet in Florida. Yeah. It's not like Oklahoma where every other building has a marijuana leaf painted on it.
Yeah.
So
doctor on demand.
Well, look at it this way. Florida is kind of I think the way I perceive it anyway is it's kind of one of those states where, I'll compare it to the old Baptist, where I grew up in East Texas, that would vote to make the county dry. And then every Friday night they would drive over into the next county and load up on cases and cases of beer and liquor.
Yeah, I don't think Florida's like that, man.
Well, that's true. That's one of the few states I know where you can actually go in and get shit-faced drunk at a bar and then buy a bottle to take home.
I'm pretty sure they sell like liquor at the gas stations.
I think you're right.
One of those states in between there does.
Yes, I know Louisiana does.
Yeah.
All right, so we're all back together again for the salute to Jeff Laramore, one of our great patrons. And Jeff picked 3 movies for us to check out. Let's see, we've got 1984's The Initiation, with the first appearance of Princess Vespa. We have Holy Spider from 2022, and of course we have this year's Candyland. Should be interesting, guys. Should be interesting. So, y'all ready to dive into Cool of the Week?
Yeah, I'll jump in first. As me and Lance have been talking about the past few weeks, we've been doing 31 days of horror, so I kind of had to decompress from all the horror, so I had to watch some non-horror movies. So.
Some Christmas movies.
No, especially not that whatever bullshit poster you sent me through Messenger. I checked out some, still catching up on movies I missed in the theater. The first one I watched was Gran Turismo.
Yeah, is it like the video game? Or, I mean, how could it be like the video game?
It's actually based on a true story. It's about the game company teaming with a racing company to put out a contest, because the video game is not just a video game, it's a racing simulator. So they had an idea of putting out a contest. Whoever wins the contest will throw them an actual race car on a racing team.
That sounds pretty cool.
And this movie is about the kid that went on to become a real race car driver. And wow. I have to say, I actually fucking really enjoyed this movie.
No shit.
It sounds like it's a good time.
Yeah.
No kidding.
I don't recognize the guy, the main guy, but it does have David Hopper from
yes, Hellboy.
Yeah, he's like I don't know what they call him on the race team, like basically like the head coach, trainer, whatever, manager.
Okay.
And I'm spacing on people's names. Legolas from Lord of the Rings. He's like
Orlando Bloom.
Yeah, he's like the corporate guy that set everything up.
Okay. Is he still doing stuff?
Yeah.
When he popped up in the movie, I was like, "Hey, Legolas," or whatever his name is. But I thought it told a good story. I'm a sucker for real kind of true story sports movies type stuff, and it was just cool that he started out playing this video game, and he had one of the dads like, you're wasting your time on this game. And he kept telling his dad, no, I'm going to do this for real. Because I guess the dad was a soccer player or a professional soccer player. The other son was following in the father's footsteps, and he was always like, why can't you be like your brother and get off that stupid game?
One of those stories, Philip.
Gotcha.
And it had some emotional moments in it. I won't spoil anything because there's a scene in that happens to him. I was like, wow, that's really fucked up. And you're just kind of rooting for him to kind of get past it. And it was a good story, good movie. And of course, at the end, they show pictures of the real guy, which found out he was the stunt actor for the main actor in the movie. So,
oh, wow. Okay. I thought you were going to tell me he was actually a paraplegic or something. I'm like,
no, I wouldn't put that evil on him, Ricky Bobby.
Okay.
He drives with a straw.
But I
laughed.
I 100% recommend Gran Turismo.
Very nice. All right.
But another new movie that came out in theaters I do not recommend, and is Expendables 4.
No, come on, man.
All I have to say is these guys are legends.
Okay.
They deserve better than the CGI bullshit. Have we gotten so big that we can't go outside and film a background for real?
Oh no.
But as far as like the characters, like everybody didn't like the new additions or like Megan Fox and 50 Cent. They didn't bother me. The only thing that just kept bothering me was like, you guys are not really standing where you're standing.
Shades of Jeepers Creepers 3 or whatever.
Almost that bad to me.
Ooh.
Ouch.
Green screen movie.
Ooh.
And minor spoilers, Stallone isn't in it as much as I wanted him to be.
Oh, he's doing Tulsa King.
Yeah, he's way better in Tulsa King. He phoned it in this one. But from what I understand, they're supposed to be handing it off to Statham now.
Oh man, I thought you were gonna say they were handing it off to Megan Fox.
You know what? This is the second action movie I've seen her in that I was like, she's not that fucking bad in it. But the unbelievable thing is her makeup is flawless.
Always.
After a big fight scene.
And they also had Tony Jaa and Iko Uwais. Iko Uwais is the main actor from the Raid movies.
What's not to like about that, man? Come on.
Lance, the CGI...
Dude, the CGI took you out of
blood. I couldn't stop looking at it. I'm like, we got Jason Statham and Iko Uwais one-on-one in the fight scene, and I'm just like, look at all the CGI.
Was it like 64-bit bullets or what?
Well,
like
if
Mario
you heard,
Brothers?
if you heard,
like Duck Hunt.
If you heard,
did the dog pop up and laugh at you?
He might have.
Time for some more wire fighting.
If you heard me and Nez review the first Expendables movie, I think last month.
Okay.
They did do the CGI thing in there, and it does bother you, but not as much because the action comes first.
Okay.
But this one, everything looked phoned in. Like we're not going to film outside. We're going to film in front of a green screen.
Oh,
that sucks.
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to that new Jason Statham movie too.
The Beekeeper?
Yeah, that one looks cool.
The Beekeeper. Yeah. Okay. What do they think of next?
Hey, he's not. He's not really a beekeeper,
Spoiler
and
alert.
you pissed him off.
Spoilers.
He's gonna send his bees after you.
So I do not recommend that one. If I had to give Gran Turismo a score, I give it an 8 out of 10.
Oh wow, that's top 10 material.
Expendables, I give it a 2.
Ouch. That hurts, man. See, I do kind of hate watching those movies with guys that I used to really love.
Yeah, I know.
Because it's sort of just sad.
So sad. So sad.
And real quick, my daughter wanted to watch the Fast and Furious movies.
Okay.
So we've already seen the first 6 in the past week.
Ooh.
Damn. Okay.
She is
Really
not a fan of certain characters in there.
Which ones?
Do elaborate.
She hates Mia, Jordana Brewster's character.
That's fair.
She's gonna have to deal with her for a while, I'm afraid.
Yeah. She's not a big fan of Tyrese's character either.
Oh, come on. What's not to like about that?
He's got some redeemable moments in the later ones.
He's there for comic relief, man. Come on.
Yeah.
She doesn't find him funny.
Her
favorite characters.
That's a killer.
Favorite characters are Paul Walker and Han.
Han.
And Han is probably going to go on to direct some more movies now.
Yeah. Dude, Tokyo Drift is my favorite one.
No shit.
Yeah.
Funny you should say that, because I asked her, because I was like, we speeding through these movies super fast, and
no pun intended.
Almost done with the franchise. What's your favorite so far? And she said the first one and Tokyo Drift are her favorites.
Okay.
Because it was like a different movie in the universe, but it was like
right,
really just as good.
And does it make you feel weird when you find out characters' real names in movies?
What do you mean?
Like in Don't Breathe, when you did the commentary with the binge guys, and you found out the blind man was Norman Nordstrom or something. We're watching the Fast and Furious movies, and I just realized Michelle Rodriguez's character Letty is Letitia.
And
it just doesn't hit the same as Letty.
Yeah.
But it's not as worse as Norman Nordstrom.
No,
it's like,
I would
don't
say
give
not.
the blind guy a name.
Yeah. Well,
you immediately lose the intimidation factor.
Yeah.
Right.
He was so mysterious. I mean, you knew there was something to him, but you just didn't know, and then they just kept referring to him as the blind man. And then when you guys did the commentary, I think somebody was like, "Did you know his name was Norman Nordstrom?"
Oh, wow.
But that's all I got to watch. I was gonna start the Fall of the House of Usher based on both of your guys' recommendation, because
it's not bad.
You've been talking about it, then Lance messaged me about it, so I'm gonna start it tonight.
Yeah, any Flanagan stuff is worth it.
You might have a long night ahead of you, Brian. That's all I'm gonna say.
I'm gonna get a couple episodes in. We're planning on watching Furious 7 or whatever the fuck it's called. That's the thing. She's not really understanding the titles as they go on. And I
don't think anybody.
I told her you're looking too hard into it. Just go with it.
Go with the flow.
They all sort of blend together after a while.
Yeah.
Well, I checked out the VHS 1985. Is that what it was?
Yep.
Yeah, and it wasn't bad. I enjoyed it.
Okay.
I wish they'd have maybe tied it together a little better at the end. But
okay. Yeah, that's what AJ kept saying. She said, "Are they going to tie all these together?" But alas, they didn't.
Yeah, but like the first little video where they're out on the boat and there's like a sniper.
Yeah.
That one was super cool, and I wish I knew more about that.
But you do learn a lot more about it, man.
A little bit, yeah.
Okay, man, you're hard. You're hard to please tonight, Philip. Come on.
Well, no, but it was a good movie. I was pretty impressed with it. It was way better than that last one.
We still need to get Pedro on for the the talk about it. Let me text him, see if he's available. You guys carry on.
Well, that's kind of all I got, man. I watched that one and sports and work, man. Fucking Cowboys, not cool of the week. They did cowboy things.
Oh yeah, did you get the crying Jordans that Low
Yeah,
Lad
I
was
just
kind
saw
enough
it
to
before we
post, and I was kind enough to forward?
Yeah, man, rough loss, but that's
Yeah, I didn't even know that they
Wow.
lost, and I just got the email. I was like, "Why is Lance sending me this?"
No, that was the Cowboys playing like the Cowboys, snatching victory from the jaws of defeat, or snatching defeat from the jaws of victory. That's what it is.
or as my son-in-law likes to say, that's just the Cowboys doing cowboy things.
Yeah, it absolutely is. But what are you gonna do? Hopefully they get better.
Well, how many Super Bowls have the Texans been in versus the Cowboys? So, there is that.
Although the Texans seem to be pulling it together.
In Texan sense, sure.
Yeah. They're still not going to do anything, but
so is that it, man? VHS 80.
That's all I got, dude.
Okay. Well, let's talk a little bit more about this House of Usher, guys.
Okay.
All right.
I'm really not sure. I'm not sure how Flanagan does it. This is possibly so I started out, old TV shows, right? We had like Star Trek, which was episodic. We had like Happy Days, Laverne and Shirley. I guess if you were into that type of thing, Friends, stuff like that. Yeah, that phase of TV, and then you started getting into. I don't know if it was really was it Lost that started it, or was it more like what was the one that Jennifer Garner was in where she was the spy?
The Alias?
Yeah, Alias.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's
seen that.
when.
I haven't either.
Oh wow. Okay, well that's when
I know of it.
That's sort of like what people call like the new golden age of television, where they weren't doing like episodic story of the week stuff, but they started like it basically made like. And like the TV show 24, for example, right? Like It's basically a 24-hour long movie. Although with commercials, more like 18 or whatever. But anyway, I digress.
If that.
So I started with Lost. That was the one that kind of got me into the serialized TV stuff. And obviously, up till now, Breaking Bad has been my favorite of all time. But as much as you guys have heard me gush about all the other Flanagan stuff, I don't think any of them holds a candle to this, man. This is quite possibly, and this is one I'm going to rewatch several times, and this has got me inspired to go back and read lots of Edgar Allan Poe stuff. But the way that this guy and his team are able to weave all the Edgar Allan Poe stories, all of the Edgar Allan Poe dialogue straight from the books and the poems, it's just seamless. Everything fits perfectly. Every character is different enough. Don't get me wrong. All the characters are hateable, but you kind of get to know them and you get to know their redeeming qualities, and you start to understand what made these certain evil people do evil things, and, the cycle that they're trapped in and stuff like that. But in my opinion, this is quite possibly the most beautiful piece of television I've ever seen in my life. Scenes had me in tears. Scenes had me yelling at the TV. There was a little bit of humor in there. And Flanagan is great with reusing. And I don't know if this has a lot to do with how good his stuff is, but he works with the same people a lot, like over and over and over again. So this was almost like the culmination of his Netflix. In fact, this show was so good that, guys, I just got an email that said your Netflix account is going to be going up to $25 a month.
Jesus.
Shocker.
$25 a month.
Yes.
What plan do you have?
It's like the super premium that's grandfathered in. All my kids and grandkids are watching it. It's like I'm on the most expensive plan, but yeah. But here's the thing. He's leaving Netflix, and he signed a contract with Prime. And, of course, the big rumor is he's going to be doing the Stephen King Dark Tower series.
Ooh.
I heard
Um,
that might not be the first thing he does.
Yeah, he's doing Life of Chuck, which was
Yeah.
a short story. Well, not a short story. It was a novella that came out a couple of years ago, which was also a King work. But look, this whole show was just an absolute love letter to Edgar Allan Poe. And I don't think that there was one moment that I wasn't completely captivated with everything that was going on. AJ watched it with me. The acid test is that she fucking loved it also. I could not stop watching. This is one of those where like it's 2 a.m. and we're clicking. You want to watch the next one? You want to watch the next one? You want to watch the next one?
Yeah.
It's 8 episodes. It does not overstay its welcome. And every character in it makes perfect sense. Now, what really blew me away, as much as I loved everything that happened, there was some dialogue in the final episode of this that just, I don't know. Flanagan, I don't think he wrote it in a vacuum, because there were like 5 or 6 other people on a writing staff with him. I looked at the credits, but they just somehow crystallized everything that's wrong and everything that's right with this country and this world right now. And it did not get heavy-handed. So to pull that off without getting heavy-handed was, I don't know. It's just a masterpiece. It's a work of art. I'll say it now, man. I love Beef. I love The Bear. I love The Last of Us. There's been some Chucky. There's been some
these are
great.
shows.
No, I'm sorry, man. TV
No, I'm
wise,
just messing with you.
okay, okay, I'm with you. But there's been some great. The Bear. I walked into that one, and that's funny because I was just listening to the Geeks review Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. So how's that? Because if you get up with a bear, there's going to be some blood involved. I don't know about honey. Cha-ching, ching. All right. No, man, this is a masterpiece. I'm calling it now. There's nothing that can rival this for my favorite TV show of the year. I mean, I'm thinking this may be my favorite television show I've ever seen in my life. I mean,
Wow.
8 episodes. They kept it neat. They tied it up perfectly.
That's true.
They left no loose ends. Flanagan, I cannot wait to follow you over to Amazon Prime. I just might have to give up my Netflix membership.
Uh-oh.
Although we've already got a Prime membership anyway, because AJ does so much shit for work. It's
Yeah.
just he's Prime for, so we're not paying for it anyway. But
Well,
man, I cannot say enough about Fall of the House of Usher.
I will get it watched and talk about it next week, because you had me at Carla Gugino, even though you didn't even say her name.
She's
They're-
awesome in this.
I am gonna hazard. There's 2 main characters, and she's one of them. How about that, Brian? You see
Yeah,
a lot of her now.
I've
Unfortunately,
seen
not nude.
I've seen it.
But it's
Those
not
of you
that
breaking
kind
my
of show.
heart now. I've seen the trailer. I've seen the usual suspects in the Mike Flanagan movie or TV series. I've seen he's even brought back the main girl Abra from Doctor Sleep. She's in there.
I think that this one, Brian, had every single major or semi-major character in any of his other Netflix shows. I mean, like, I recognized every single face in this. Maybe there were a couple of new ones.
So it's
but,
basically the Flaniverse.
it's the Flaniverse.
Yeah.
I like that. I think you need to coin that.
Yeah, somebody will before I get a chance to.
Man,
It's probably already a thing, and you don't want to know.
I would. You know what? To watch this, I would like to own this when it comes out on DVD. I might have to do the old steelbook thing if they do a steelbook, like Nez loves to do so much.
It's a funny thing. Netflix rarely releases their stuff.
Well,
the only
There's a reason for that. There's a
Yeah.
$25 a month reason for that.
Yeah, the only thing that I own that I know that's been released from Netflix is like a couple seasons of the Stranger Things, because they released them in the collectible,
okay.
like VHS kind of case.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
But as far as anything, I think they were originally, like when Orange is the New Black was coming out, they were releasing that, but then they just stopped. I guess, like you said,
Well,
they figured we're making people pay $25 a month.
to access it whenever they want, right?
That's crazy. I'm paying 15.
Well, you don't have the family spread that I have, Brian.
No, they can pay for their own.
Yeah.
Well,
job.
yeah. We'll see how this Florida thing goes. We may have to go in that direction or something, but yeah,
Weird
man.
once you start adding all that shit up, how it comes out to more than cable.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, man. And then
CBS
just
All Access. Thank you. That was my point from the
oh,
beginning.
that's right. They got the ball rolling. Well,
But I will say, as far as right now with shows and stuff, well, they're Paramount Plus now. They're actually the most I hear about as far as having the best shows streaming right now.
they have a lot.
They
of
do
great
have some pretty good
man.
stuff.
Well, you can go on there right now, Brian, and watch the Pet Cemetery remake.
Well, that's how. Well, I have Paramount because it comes with Showtime now.
Yes, it does.
But
Yes, it
I
does.
will not partake in Pet Cemetery remake. I do just because of my memory of it with you guys. I do own it
Right.
in Steelbook, but it still has the shrink wrap over it,
do.
and it will never be opened.
And it will be worth millions.
You and Ness are like, man, this is the worst fucking movie I've ever seen. I have to own it in Steelbook right now.
Well, I talked about it when I was doing 31 Days with Nez. I buy even the bad movies that we review because these are like memories of with you guys.
It's a collection.
Yeah, because we did one. What's it called? Like Don't Answer the Phone. I did that with Nez, and Nez did not like that movie. And then I saw it was available on Blu-ray, and I bought it like that week. Because these are my memories with you guys.
Yeah.
See, I halfway think that Nez bought that Black Christmas episode or that Black Christmas movie just to wave at us.
I think you're right. I think you might be right.
I think he likes it legitimately.
You really think he likes it?
You and Nez sometimes.
Oh, here we go.
You more so than Nez.
Okay.
You never can tell.
Yeah. I never know when Nez is gonna actually hate something, and with you, I never know when you're gonna actually like something.
I like that, man. Let's keep it that way. Speaking of which, do we have any news? Any headlines, Brian? Besides the writer's strike.
Writer's strike?
No, writer's strike. Sorry.
The actor's strike. From what I've heard, they're in final negotiations, so hopefully everybody can get back to work.
Like there's a shortage of actors.
Yes. Well,
yeah, but
let the little guys get a chance.
Yeah, because I feel
that's
who I feel for is the
I do too.
The smaller actors that rely on stuff like that.
Oh, and did you hear the story about what George Clooney tried to do?
Mm-mm.
No.
Okay, so Clooney, bless his pea-picking heart, right? His naive pea-picking heart. He made a proposal, and I think there was like 20 or 40 of like the top tier, most highly paid actors working in Hollywood. And he had a private meeting with them, and he proposed. He said, "Hey guys, I've got an idea. Why don't each of us take like $4 million of our own money, put it into a pot, and pay off all these little actors?" And I think he was voted down like 38-2.
Did he call them little actors?
Are y'all feeling the irony here?
Wow, George.
Oh man, hey, he tried, but he was voted down like 38-2 or something. Like, they ain't getting my money. We in America, damn it.
All right. Texas Frightmare 2024 news. We got some more guests named.
Oh, very nice.
Damn, they're coming out early this year.
Zuniga.
Yeah, Roger L. Jackson. The
Okay,
voice
not
of
Samuel.
The voice of Ghostface will be at Texas Frightmare.
Oh, okay. Samuel's little brother.
Yes. Marley Shelton, You guys probably best know her. She's been in a ton of movies, but best know her as Officer Judy in the Scream movies.
Oh, okay.
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 So it looks like there might be putting together a Scream panel.
Uh-oh.
Oh man, that'd be cool.
Dude, if Jenna Ortega shows up, things are gonna get nuts.
She's way too big now.
Yeah.
Can we get a
Not-
first look at her?
We might get her stuff taken down for that.
Okay.
Freddie Rodriguez. He was in Planet Terror, 6 Feet
Sure.
Under. He was makes me think there might be also a Planet Terror panel because Marley Shelton was also in Planet Terror.
Okay.
Okay.
The lovely Misty Wallace is going to be there. And Joe Dante from such films as Piranha, The Howling, Gremlins, Twilight
Man.
Zone, The Burbs.
Wow.
Yes.
Now that's a legend. That is a legend right there. That's gonna. He's probably gonna have his own room like Clive Barker did. You know.
Oh, I'm sure.
The Burbs. We gotta cover that one at some point.
Ah, maybe a patron will recommend it.
We didn't do that one.
I don't think we've done the
think so.
Burbs.
It's getting
Not
too
that I
much
recall.
now. I don't even know.
Yeah, I got to get that spreadsheet together, man. Tonight we're gonna review our second double review after The Exorcist. So we're like, what, 1 month in a row now? We've done 2 that we've done before.
Well, it's Patreon.
That's okay.
pick.
What are you
All
gonna do?
right. Let's
Yeah, they run the show, right?
let's pull up some news. This is I usually try to separate TV and movie, but fuck it. Let's see. I know we got some Terrifier 3 news because if you went to see the re-release this past week, they showed the Terrifier 3 teaser only in theaters.
Okay.
And Terrifier 3 gets an October 25th, 2024 release date. And it looks like it's going to be a Christmas movie.
That's what I
Lance.
heard. That's the rumor I heard. I think I heard the geeks talking about that.
Okay.
Yeah, well, they released a poster today, and
Okay.
he's wearing a Santa Claus suit with
Well, there
a
you
skin-
go.
looks like somebody else's face. So
Wouldn't it be great if he wore a Grinch mask in one scene since he plays the mean one?
still got to watch that.
Oh, I've already committed AJ to that being one of our Christmas movies. So
The
one
Grinch.
for Lance on that one. No, the mean one.
Oh, the mean one.
Let's see. Unfortunately, because of the strike,
Ah,
production was shut down on the prequel series for Stephen King's It series called Welcome to Derry, which was going to be on Max.
okay.
Since production was shut down, release date is pushed to 2025.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Which, from what I understand, Max is kind of hurting for content,
Mhm.
which might be good for us horror fans because the Salem's Lot movie that had its release date pulled earlier this year, they might just release it to Max because
Okay.
they have no new content to release because of the strike.
Oh, no.
Good point.
Wow.
And you'll be excited to see Salem's Lot, Phil. James Wan produced.
Oh, yeah, okay. Well, that holds a whole lot of water.
Is that it for news? The Last of Us, they're optimistic about the strike. They think season 2 will begin filming in early 2024.
Well, let's hope so.
Yeah. Well, we'll see when it actually comes out.
Sequel to Fall 2 is set to begin filming sometime in June, with the third movie already in discussion.
Okay.
Which that's a movie I really wish I seen in the theater on the big screen.
I know. A lot of people have said
Yeah,
that.
that makes sense.
Nez said he got nauseous or something when he was watching it.
That makes sense.
I get, like, when I see like stupid videos of people like trying to jump from building to building or like they climb
Oh,
stuff
yeah.
to take selfies, it gives me
Mhm.
that weird feeling.
Yeah.
like I'm there or something.
Hanging off the edge of a cliff to take a picture.
Oh God,
What are you doing?
I hate
Right,
that so
right.
much, and they have no harness or parachute or anything.
Yeah.
And I hate to say it, but when you hear them stories
Wow.
that influencer dies hanging from tower
Yeah.
trying to take a selfie,
Mhm.
sorry, I don't feel bad.
Not a whole lot of sympathy, huh?
Gotta stop somehow.
Let's see.
You dang
Don
influencers are messing up my view.
Don Mancini, the creator of Chucky, teases a crossover between Chucky and Megan.
You knew it was coming. I mean, come on.
Okay. That's gonna get weird.
It
And-
could, or it could be really good. Like
Yeah.
the Freddy and Jason movie was pretty damn good.
Yeah, that's true. Who wins that battle?
Well,
Chucky, because he could
we know that.
Dembella himself into other bodies and other Chucky
That's right.
dolls.
Oh, that's true.
But then again, now that I thought about it, Megan could transfer herself into other.
Oh,
electronics.
absolutely. Yeah, just download herself, right?
It'll be an ongoing fight, so there'll have to be a sequel.
Demons versus robots.
I foresee an army of Megans, right? Like where they just
Mhm.
downloaded into like 24 different Megan dolls.
Oh well, the new one's going to be called Megan 2.0, so I'm
Sure.
sure they
Why not?
upgraded the dolls for some reason.
I'm sure they did. It worked
They
so well the first time.
They can murder you more efficiently now. Let's see the sequel to Ghostbusters.
You were about to dance.
The sequel to Ghostbusters Afterlife is rumored to be called Frozen Empire. And actually, the day of
Okay.
recording this, we shall get a teaser for the movie tomorrow.
Okay.
Huh.
So we'll talk about the teaser next week.
That's funny. I was just thinking about Ghostbusters today and wondering if there was another sequel coming out.
Yeah, I think it was also affected from the strike. They had to shut down production. But
Yeah, no
I
doubt.
guess they have enough to show a teaser. So, and lastly, we'll talk about Five Nights at Freddy's.
Oh yeah, I kind of forgot about that one.
Broke numerous records. If I can even find my posting, there you go.
I
Let me
figured
get-
it would, man.
Let me guess,
Most-
they've already announced 7 more movies.
No, they haven't announced it, but
Okay.
But yes.
biggest opening weekend for a horror movie in 2023.
Oh, come on.
Biggest
Yeah.
opening weekend for a Blumhouse movie.
Ever?
Yeah.
Oh,
Hmm.
ouch.
And I believe the most streamed movie on Peacock.
Wow.
Well,
So-
and considering it came out on Peacock and the movie theater, and it still had all that shit going on in the theater,
Mhm.
that's pretty good.
Pretty impressive, right?
And from what I understand, there hasn't officially been announced, but they said Five Nights at Freddy's 2 will kind of fill in those gaps that seems a lot of our kids had questions about. What about this?
Okay.
What about that?
Sure.
Mhm.
So
Okay.
it looks like they got a moneymaker on their hands right there.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm excited about it or not, but
I'm not excited, but
yeah, I know. but
I'm excited if my kid's excited.
yeah,
there you
it's
go,
it,
man.
it sort of brings horror a little bit to some new people.
Yeah.
So that's kind of cool.
And I'm not sure if I read this from one of the people that was involved with the film, but I think as they move on with the franchise, kind of like Harry Potter, how it got a little bit more darker and older.
Oh, yeah, that does make sense. Does make sense.
So hopefully, maybe we'll get a little bit, some gore, because I don't think we got a whole lot in the first one.
Yeah, because they could make that movie pretty scary, I think.
Yeah. All right, that's the news.
All right, Philip, you ready to go down to the trailer park?
Let's go.
All right, we're going to go on down to the trailer park. Brian is going to bring us the The big, the small, and sometimes the very, very weird. What is the first new trailer this week?
I'm a riding on my tornado. Woo!
Well, it looks like we got another movie you can put on your Christmas movie watching
I
list.
was just thinking the same thing.
And the movie's called A Creature Was Stirring. Let's see. Synopsis. Excuse me, my dog's trying to mess with my microphone. Go away.
Mine's just laying down being lazy right now. Oh, you
All
can't
right.
see him. He's behind the pillows.
All right, synopsis. A nurse taking care of her daughter's mysterious affliction struggles to hide her secrets when uninvited strangers take shelter in the house during a lethal blizzard. And this stars the lovely Scout Taylor Compton,
Okay.
Annalise Basso, and Chrissy Metz. And this is directed by Damien Levesque. And Lance, I think he did that movie, The Cleansing Hour.
Okay.
With the online, you remember the online exorcists that were live streaming their exorcism?
Vaguely.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you
I
seen
like
it?
that movie.
Vaguely.
Same director.
Okay. That one wasn't bad.
This one looks fucking awesome. I mean, I love the effects that I saw in the trailer. I hope the movie stands up to that.
That's exactly what I was thinking when I seen the trailer. I was like, this looks pretty fucking awesome. I
Yeah.
like the premise. I like that the daughter has some mysterious thing wrong with her, and you got these people that are basically forcing their way in to stay because of this blizzard.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, are you gonna let me down, movie?
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure what the premise is, but
Right?
Well,
I'm
it looks
interested
like
to see.
there's obviously something wrong with the daughter. They didn't show
Yeah.
the daughter. They showed somebody putting on boxing headgear to go into a sealed off room.
That
And then there
has
was some
potential.
kind of monster thing at the end. I was like, what the hell
Uh-huh.
is this?
Might be the daughter.
Might be.
That's what I'm wondering too. Or
Maybe
is
she-
the daughter even really sick? Or is it one of these where the mom's convincing her she's sick? I don't know.
It's one
Yeah.
of those evil elves that like steals the children and like replicates them or whatever, and so something's like incubating inside of her.
That could be.
Yeah.
Could be.
I mean, it's hard not to go with she's some kind of monster, because in the
Yeah.
trailer there was like some kind of tunnel through the snow.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's what evil
Well.
elves do. That's what I've heard. That's what they tell me.
all right. So it looks like we're all somewhat interested in watching this movie.
Oh, I'm all in. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I'm
love the
curious.
trailer.
Well, I know you
totally interested.
Lance, you gotta mix it up from the Hallmark movies. So
Yeah. No
Oh
kidding.
yeah. Oh yeah. Got to. to.
That one counts.
And
Hey.
like I told Lance, I'm not doing 31 or 25. I'll do 12.
12 Days of Christmas, Philip. You
That
gonna do it
makes
with
sense.
us? Will you do it with us?
Probably not, but
No, come on, dude. Rose will. Doesn't Rose like Christmas movies?
Maybe I'll think about it.
All right, think it through, man. We'll talk next week.
I feel like Rose has a set of Christmas movies she only watches.
For me,
She
it's,
probably does.
For me, it's Elf. It's Elf. It's National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, and after that, I kind of run out of ideas. I need some more ideas here.
Yeah, we
Mine
definitely watch
are-
Elf every year.
Mine is Christmas Vacation and Scrooged.
Ah, Scrooge.
That's a
classic.
that's a good one, but it's
I
not
haven't
my
seen that one in a while.
favorite. Yeah, it's not my favorite Bill Murray movie. But as far as
Gremlins.
Christmas movies go, why not, right?
I like Scrooge. Gremlins is a good one.
Gremlins
like
is a
Scrooge.
good one.
Scrooge
Yeah,
is good
you haven't
because
done that
Bill
one.
Murray's such an asshole in that movie.
Yeah.
But he's stapling the, what is it? He's trying to staple.
Antlers
Ant-
on a mouse.
Yes.
Because the production guy is like, the glue, the glue's not working. I tried super glue and it doesn't work. And he's like, did
Yeah.
you try staples?
Yes.
All right. A Creature Was Stirring. I'm assuming this is VOD,
Okay.
December 12th.
Hopefully it'll be on Shudder or something. Wouldn't that be great?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Christmas
that's
horror.
all I could find for horror-related trailers. There was a
right.
trailer for the new Marvel series Echo, which looks fucking awesome.
Haven't seen that yet.
Do you remember the character from Hawkeye, the Native American
Yeah, of
girl?
course.
She
Of
was
course.
deaf.
Yep.
It's going to be Marvel's, as far as their series, their first TVMA rated series.
Oh,
I haven't even started Loki yet. If they
And
keep
in the
saying
I haven't
this.
either.
in the trailer for Echo, you see people get shot in the head and necks broken.
Oh
So-
shit!
And
On, the
Kingpin,
on Disney Plus.
yeah, well, they're going to release it Disney Plus and Hulu.
Okay, I'm
Which I
all
get it.
in.
I get it bundled, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
I think most people do.
And of course, Vincent D'Onofrio's back as Kingpin, and it looks like
Nice.
Netflix Kingpin. Like it's more, like he's more vicious, like the Netflix version.
Yeah.
I like it.
So,
I like
Okay.
it.
so I'm excited for it. I mean, for all we know, it could be bad, but the trailer definitely sold me.
Probably more than the Marvels movie.
I might talk about that next week. We might be doing we haven't done a family movie trip with the whole family, and
Yeah.
we might be doing that. I'm not excited for it. I still want to watch it, but it's not like high on my list.
Yeah.
Okay.
I got
I'm
about
gonna.
zero interest.
No, I'm gonna be the polar opposite, guys. I'm like super excited for it because I'm going through Marvel movie withdrawal right now. What was the last thing we got? Wasn't it Guardians?
Yeah.
That was a long.
yeah, I guess in the
fucking-
movie
that was a
theaters.
long fucking time ago.
Well,
guys. I mean,
they had to pull back because of the quality
that's
of
what
what
I'm
they were
saying.
putting out.
That's what I'm saying, man. We're not used to this. We should have by now. We should have at least had one more Spider-Man movie.
No, it's too soon.
The last one kind of sucked, Brian.
No, it didn't.
I'm fucking with you. You know I loved it on the second watch.
I think they need to dump it all and then wait a couple of years and start over.
Well, that's what the strike's
Well,
doing.
You got
Yeah.
you got the X-Men coming, like it or not. So
Well, that's what
are
I'm
they
waiting
are they
for, yeah.
are they coming?
they are guarantee
When
it.
when Lance?
Yeah, it's
bought
been
Fox,
like
like-
half a
When
decade.
do
they've been
those-
saying
okay.
that.
What are those weird contracts that they've got where like they would still have to use the actors from the old ones? Is that
No,
2025?
I don't think that's true, or unless that's
Is that an
because
urban legend?
I heard
Somebody correct us on this. Whoever's listening, correct.
I heard
us.
Deadpool 3 is supposed to be like Deadpool kills the Fox Marvel universe. So I know a lot of those
That'd be
characters are gonna
great.
be a lot of those
Oh,
characters are
I
coming
love
back
that.
in there.
Okay, yeah, that's what they need to do. That's it. Genius.
That's the Marvel movie I'm anticipating.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I'll go watch that one for
When
sure.
is that?
got-
one
You got
Mhm.
Hugh Jackman back as Wolverine in the yellow suit.
When is
Nice.
that? When is that one coming out, Brian?
I think it got pushed to July or something
Okay.
like that.
Oh God, please don't push it back anymore.
Because a lot of people think it's gonna be Fox. He kills the Fox universe
That
because
would be so amazing.
a set picture of a broken Fox logo was there, and what's her name? Jennifer
Man.
Gardner is coming back as Elektra, which makes people think Ben
Ben
Affleck
Affleck!
is coming back as Daredevil.
Okay.
And basically, whoever was a Fox Marvel character, Deadpool's gonna murder all of them.
I can't wait.
Well, that's kind of what he does.
Do it now, please. God, we need this movie.
In some kind of multiverse way, that they'll end up bringing him into the MCU. But they said
Oh man.
Deadpool 3 will be rated R. And today the
Well, it
director
fucking better be.
Yeah.
the director of the Blade reboot,
Uh-huh.
he said he could confirm that that's going to be rated R also.
Oh man. Yeah. I think we're gonna get some good stuff, guys. I have faith. I have faith in the
I
heart.
have faith if they're going to pull back and not dump so much on us all at once. You can have all these characters,
Man.
but they all don't need a show or a movie.
You know what?
Just
Dump
introduce them.
dump away, guys. Dump away. I'll watch them all. I am going through serious Marvel withdrawal right
See
now.
what I'm saying, Phil? I never know what this. You're not excited for Aquaman 2? Because I am. Because I heard
don't watch those.
I heard Jason Momoa was drunk on set.
Oh,
So
really?
I'm interested to see
That's
this
funny.
movie now.
So did they have to reshoot a bunch of shit for Amber Heard?
No, they just
Ooh.
cut some of her scenes short.
Ouch.
Oh, okay.
Ouch.
From what I heard,
Um,
she's hardly in the movie.
I'll bet fucking Captain Jack Sparrow runs her through. I'll bet she jumps up onto the fucking ship. Captain Jack Sparrow pulls out his sword and goes, "Alas, ye ho! Did you shit in me gin?"
That would be awesome, actually. I
Wouldn't
would
that be
totally watch
great?
that. I'd go
Wouldn't
see
that
the movie just
be
for
great?
that.
Disney could do it, right? No.
No.
See, never mind. God.
Warner Brothers.
All right.
Mixing Studios.
You were really getting me excited there for a minute, Brian.
No, you got yourself
So
excited.
you reminded me that Aquaman is DC. Warner Brothers.
All right,
All
listener
right.
feedback.
Oy.
Listener feedback. This week we're going to shine the podcast spotlight on Spooky Sips. Do you love horror movies, shows, and all things spooky? Join three ladies as we dive into horror movies old and new and sip on some yummy spirits along the way. New
Why not?
episodes are released every 2 weeks.
All right.
Yeah. Spooky Sips, check them out. And since we're covering 3 films this week, listener feedback will return next week. But we got to give a shout out to Steve Carlton from the Geeks for our logos and stuff. Our original skull artwork from Natsulani. And please consider becoming a Patreon patron. We'll bring you more shows like this one where you get to pick the movies for a show at any amount. And for $5 or more a month, also pick a commentary for a future bonus show. And come on and hang out with us. And we were doing a $1 thing. I don't know if it's still going, but if you get in
dude,
quick.
we gotta, no. You know what?
Give us what you can.
Give what you can. Give what you can. Give till it. I'm gonna go full minister mode here. Give till it hurts.
Give till it
How about
hurts. Is
that?
that what the ministers say?
I think so.
All right. On to featured attractions. This week, we salute our super patron, Jeff Larimore, who's been with us since day one. With his, so hey, you know he's got some tolerance. With his
Ryan
3
Reynolds
picks.
meme pops up in my head. The one where he's like, "But why?"
Oy. Or like
Uh,
when Tom Savini did his sounder for us, he says, "And you're listening to, and I don't know why, the horror returns."
Yeah. Well, his 3 picks are The Initiation from 1984. I'm pretty sure, although we'll have some discussion on that as to whether or
Right.
not we watched the right movie.
I think so.
Holy
man.
Spider and Candyland. We'll start with The Initiation from 1984. An amnesiac sorority member who has been plagued by a recurring nightmare is also is stalked alongside other co-eds by a killer in a deserted department store where they are competing in a hazing ritual. Directors are Larry Stewart and Peter Crane. Writer is Charles Pratt Jr., also known for All My Children and The Young and the Restless. That
Well, that's some
makes
street
sense.
cred.
The location used for the mall was the Dallas Market Center.
Dallas.
Hey.
I swear they said Houston in the movie.
They did several times. And he was wearing a Texas T-shirt, one of the guys, and that's in
Yeah.
Austin, FYI.
The crew would shoot overnight in the building after it closed at 7 p.m., but would have to wrap up before opening at 7 a.m. the next morning. Thus, each night shoot at the location would have to be done in 12-hour increments.
Okay.
Okay. So, The Initiation. This was because there's a couple of different initiations out there, but this is definitely the one that Jeff Larimore picked.
I believe he said 1984.
Okay, 1984 it is. Lance, what did you think about it?
Well, we have reviewed this movie before.
Yeah.
We've confirmed that. So we did The Exorcist twice, and now we're doing this one twice. So, but it's worth it, man. This was a fun little movie. So I couldn't figure out if this was supposed to be an '80s nerd comedy like Revenge of the Nerds, or like Animal House or something like that, or
Almost.
is this supposed to be a slasher? I will let you know that my wife is the master of figuring movies out, and she had this one figured out about halfway through, although there was a twist she didn't see. We don't do spoiler alert here, so I am a little confused. At the end, was it twins? It was twins, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
But there was nothing to indicate that anywhere early in the movie. That there
I
were
thought
in-
that too. I was like, wow, they
girls.
pulled that out of left field.
In the flashback, you see the girl stabbing her, and then the mother runs up, or stabbing the father. And
Okay.
wait, no,
So-
I'm getting confused. You see the girl stabbing the lover. That was
Okay.
in bed with the
Okay.
mother. And
Sure.
the mother,
Sure.
and then the father walks in and they fight and they he catches on fire, and the
Yep.
mother runs and grabs a girl
Okay.
and runs out the room. I took it as there was two girls in the room.
Oh. Well, then you figured it out from the beginning, Brian, because I don't know. I caught the father and the lover at the beginning, but I didn't catch the other girl. So okay, cool. Yeah, man. I mean, it was definitely a fun watch. You know, I mean, how much fun can you have inside of a shopping mall that looks like a Four Seasons hotel?
Yeah,
On the inside
is that
for some
really how
reason.
is that place still around?
It
I
is.
No, I don't remember
I
seeing
googled it.
ever.
Yes, I googled it. It's still there.
Yeah?
So yes, it is.
It's not a place
It's
I ever
still
went to.
there.
I was gonna ask you guys because I would like to go see this shopping mall that looks like a fancy hotel with multiple floors.
Like 10 stories high.
Like, how many
That's
floors
just
do you
crazy.
need?
It's like the Galleria, but on steroids, right?
Yeah.
So the one part of this movie that got me, Brian, thinking about you and your stupid people alert.
Oh, there's
Was
a
the-
few.
Well, there were several, but the part where the one that really stuck out to me was the one where, so, okay, we've got literally, as you guys said, 10 stories of individual small stores that have lots of cubby holes and hidey holes and places to hide behind clothing and whatnot. And once they know the killer's out there and coming after him, she's like, hey, I've got an idea. So we already know the security guard's been murdered, so there's no one in the entire mall to provide security. Why don't you go hide in the middle of the fucking mall in the dead center in the brightly lit security desk and see what happens? Yeah, that's the ticket. Yeah, there was a lot of that stuff.
Yeah.
I did enjoy the early scenes, like the costume party. That was like B movie schlock, like 80s, fun time stuff.
They had the
The guy-
dancing montage.
The dancing montage, the dude dressed up as a full-size penis was pretty funny. That was a pretty damn good costume, I have to admit. Yeah, I mean, it was a fun movie. There was a lot to like about it. You've got the I can guarantee you guys that there's no way that this film did not influence a particular season of American Horror Story. Of course, I'm talking about Asylum, because I don't know about you guys, but I have had visits to state hospitals because I've had family members that I've had to visit before, and I can assure you that there's not people like doing this in unison and going, oh, okay.
Well, you don't have the groundskeeper guy leading it. That's why. Who you come to find out is also a patient. They make one of the
Well-
patients get to be the groundskeeper.
Okay, Philip, you can speak to that because you worked in a prison, and they do put those guys to work, right?
Yeah, so when they called him a trustee, I guess maybe he was a trustee at the hospital. I assume trustee from like a prison.
Right.
But yeah, maybe he was a patient and was just like a trustee. That
So
makes
you-
sense.
You give him sharp objects to work with.
Eh?
maybe
lot
not
of-
to so much.
It's a lot of trust in that trustee.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
How does
It
that
was-
hearing look? He walks
was-
in the room and you're like, oh no, don't trust you. Sorry,
It
buddy.
was it was a fun movie. I like the fact that they had it in very distinct acts. I like the fact that you started out at the the sorority house. You definitely got your tit shots. They definitely did not shave down there in the 80s. That's for sure. And you got the mall scenes at the end. So not a lot of bad things to say about this movie. It was kind of a fun watch. I don't know if I can remember what I gave it the first time I watched it, but it's definitely not a movie that I hated. It was fun to watch.
All right.
All right, Brian, what do you think?
Yeah, I had fun with this. I think I had fun with this last time. Of course, what's her name? Daphne Zuniga.
Princess
Vespa. The other recognizable guy I saw was Clu Gallagher from
Okay.
Return of the Living Dead. He was the guy that owned the
Oh!
medical supply shop.
Okay. Yeah, and it was the dad in this one, right?
Well, come to find out, it was not the
Or well,
dad,
the dad.
Mhm.
Okay.
the new dad.
Yes. Yes.
I liked the little twist they threw in there with the it being the twins and stuff like that. I thought the kills were
Mhm.
pretty decent. You had a lot of goofy characters. A lot of the guys, other than the doctor, was fucking hella goofy.
Yeah,
Like that one guy that just wanted to fuck throughout the whole movie.
They were a bunch of stupid
Yeah.
teenage kids, man.
Well, yeah.
Well, I'm
that's
talking about
true.
the main guy. I think he went to the costume party dressed. I don't know if he was a S&M guy or
Or like a
Road-
barbarian or something, gladiator.
barbarian, gladiator, extra from Road Warrior or something. I don't know what. it was.
And he probably weighed about 83 pounds dripping wet, right?
Yeah, but I think I felt like they did a good job of making us think it was the real father the whole time, and
Mhm.
not even ever throughout the movie that you would even think that it was a twin. So that definitely made it a good twist, because if you didn't think it was the father, you thought it was her.
Sure. Well, I thought for sure after that one scene where she, hugged the guy ran up to hug her and she stabbed him. I thought, okay, this is a split personality thing, especially with all
Yeah.
the mirrors, the imagery of the mirrors throughout the
Mhm.
movie. But Brian, if you're saying that they did kind of give us a clue in that flashback, I missed it.
Well, no, they didn't. That's just how I justified it.
Okay.
That her memories coming back was not of her stabbing someone. It was her seeing her sister stab somebody.
Yeah, so it was like from a first
got it.
person.
Okay. Gotcha. So it's a little bit more clever than even I thought it was at the end, because I thought that was kind of a neat twist.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
over,
it would have been
overall,
nice to have maybe another clue somewhere along the way, but
Yeah,
then they would have given it away.
right.
Yeah.
And we can't have that.
overall, I had fun with it. It's a good rewatch, and talking about physical media, I will be
Mhm.
picking up. This is on Blu-ray, so it will be added to the collection.
Oh, nice. I'm surprised you don't already have it.
No shit. I thought you had 3 copies by now.
I totally forgot we talked about this movie before.
Uh-huh.
I did too. It didn't click until I looked up. I was like, hey, wait a minute. I know that girl. And I
Yeah,
looked her up
right.
and I was like, oh, that's Princess Vespa.
Yeah, I'm watching a movie and I'm
Oh,
like,
wait, I've seen this.
I'm watching a movie and I'm thinking I'm just figuring stuff out, and then when
Yeah.
the twist happens, I'm like, did we do this movie before? And I had to pull out my
Oh,
little
yeah.
list.
What got me was the minute they showed the shopping mall, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah,
Shit, here we go again. Double reviewing the same movie, but that's okay.
and
Well,
I,
and it sort of takes them a minute to get to that whole shopping mall scene because
It
that's
does.
I think
which
that's
is
where
cool, which is
that's
cool.
when I picked it up because
Yeah.
I had a little inkling. I'm like, have I seen this movie before? Nah, I don't think I remember this. And then when they got to the
Right.
mall, I was like, oh, we definitely watched this.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
and now I'm remembering. I think we did that episode with Marcy and Bede.
Oh, really?
I think it was
Or was
a
that
year in
Shopping
horror
Mall?
episode. I think it was a year in horror episode.
Yeah, the Year in Horror '84, right? That's
Oh.
kind of what I was thinking too. Is that it was one of those which we're about to get to re-uploading within the next year, hopefully. Whenever I have
Yeah,
time
so-
to do more re-uploads.
So listen to that. Listen to this one, and then if you want to see our
Yeah.
probably completely different views on the film, go listen
Right.
to the other review.
Yeah, one of us will give it an 8 this time, and when you go back and listen, they gave it a 2 type thing, right?
Bah, that's a pretty good possibility.
It happens. It happens.
But yeah, I had a lot of fun with this one too. And it's weird that I didn't really remember watching it until halfway through. I mean, there's a bunch of movies like that. We watch a lot of movies, but
Sure.
obviously it's not super memorable.
Yeah, and
But-
sometimes a slasher movie is just a slasher movie.
Yeah, especially
know?
a slasher movie from the 80s in a mall. I mean, there's at least a half a dozen of those.
Chopping Mall, etc. Right?
I did like that he was trying to mix it up. It wasn't just stabby.
Yeah.
True. Yeah, there was an arrow. There was a fucking. The hell was that? The guy that would when he finally had sex with a quote unquote virgin until we
Oh.
learned her sad story.
Yeah, when the movie got super dark.
Yeah, that
Was
was
molested
fucking
when she was
bizarre.
12. I was like,
Oh,
"You're
yeah.
bringing me
Ooh.
down, movie."
Yeah, that was
Especially
rough,
since that had no relation to anything else in the plot.
Well,
Yeah,
it is.
times
It
have-
is.
Whoa.
Times have changed because back then you get made fun of being a virgin. Now you get made
Right.
fun of what do the young people say? How many bodies you have?
Oh,
Body count.
I haven't heard that one yet, but I'm sure I will.
You dang kids and your body counts and all your anal sex. I don't want to hear about it.
Ay. This is why.
but yeah,
This is
anyway.
why I always. This
Fun
is why I
movie.
was always hoping that at least one of my granddaughters would be lesbian, so I wouldn't have to worry about a pregnancy.
There's still
I know,
hope for them
that's-
yet. They're young.
Yes, I know. That's true. They're still exploring. They're still exploring.
They still got college to go through.
Right?
That's when all the lesbians come out.
That's Warriors come out and play. Yay.
None of this movie though. There was a lot of casual walking around nude, jumping in showers.
Yeah.
I guess they had a system because no one ever turned off the showers. They would just walk out and somebody would walk right in.
Oh my God.
Is that not how that goes?
I would like to
Conserve,
think.
conserve water, right?
All right. So scores on this one. Lance, what do you think?
6. No,
Oh, I
6.
thought you were gonna give it an 8.
No, come on. it's fun, man. I liked it more than I didn't. It was no masterpiece, man. Sorry, Jeff. And go back and listen to our other show. Maybe I gave it an 8 then, but I mean, it
I
was
doubt
fun.
it.
It was fun as hell. It was definitely fun, but come on, guys. This was no masterpiece. It was a great movie to watch. I love the twist ending. I almost feel guilty giving it only a 6, since Brian did explain, if you just figured out when she got hooked up to that little dream monitor, that when she was dreaming that she did see the other person doing it, not her. Yeah, maybe that would have added to my score, but I liked it more than I didn't, Jeff. I liked it more than I didn't.
Fair enough. Brian, what do you think?
I'm gonna go a little bit higher. I'm gonna give it a 7. I
All right.
thought it was a
Solid.
fun 80s slasher movie with a little bit of humor in there. It did, like I said, it did
A
get
lot of
dark.
humor. I thought it
got
was a
dark.
fucking comedy halfway through, man.
Yeah, but that was mostly the frat guys were completely
Yeah, true.
balls in the movie. I think the only serious men in there were the parental figures or the one doctor who was
Well-
he wasn't even a doctor. He was a teacher's aide or something, experimenting
Right.
people.
What about the security guard with his creepy mustache?
Oh, he was fucking hilarious, man. He had the country music going. He was drinking the generic beer, listening to Hank Williams Jr. It's just, Oh, okay, 6.5. God damn it! Just for the fucking security guard, his stupid mustache and his generic
Uh-oh.
beard.
Is that what
And
we're
God
doing?
damn it, it was definitely Texas. There is no doubt that a lot of these extras that they picked were definitely those were Texas accents. So you know what? Just for the fact that the director took the time to make it as realistic as possible, as far as you know what? I honestly thought that the Sawyer family was going to show up with a bowl of chili at some point. That's how Texas this movie was. So 6.5, six and a
Just-
half.
I
I'm
thought you
already
had to go up to an 8.
You know what? I'll go 7.5 just for
there.
Texas.
You go. There you go.
They were filming at a Dallas shopping center, but they kept referencing Houston. So
And he was wearing a University of Texas T-shirt, which is located in Austin.
Yeah.
So
Sure.
quick geography lesson for anyone who doesn't live in Texas.
they're trying to cover some ground in this movie.
I'm gonna go. Well, shit, I was gonna be right in the middle. I'm gonna give it a 6.5 also.
Nice. All right. Cool. We all liked it more than we didn't.
Yeah, I think it was a typical slasher movie, but they had a cool twist that you kind of
Mhm.
didn't see coming. And I like the schlocky comedy that they threw in there. I thought that kind of made it unique. So
And
fun movie.
what's her name? Daphne Zuniga, if I'm pronouncing it, the Princess Vespa. She was pretty good in it.
So
Yeah.
I know she was in a lot of. I don't know a lot, but she was in quite a few horror movies around this time.
Mhm.
So kind of makes me want to go check out other ones she was in.
yeah, she's got some talent, man. She's not a bad actress.
All right. So The Initiation. Next we'll move on to Holy Spider, 2022. A journalist descends into the dark underbelly of the Iranian holy city of Mashhad as she investigates the serial killings of sex workers by the so-called Spider Killer, who believes he is cleansing the streets of sinners. Director is Ali Abbasi, also known for the TV show The Last of Us. Writers Ali Abbasi, Afshin Kamran Bahrami, and Jonas Wagner. One of these things is not like the other. Let's see. Zar Amir Ibrahimi was initially involved in the film only as a casting director, but was cast as the lead after an actress became fearful of acting without a hijab and dropped out of the role at the last minute. Oh, interesting. Well, that makes sense. Brian, what do you think about Holy Spider?
I have never seen this. I've heard of it. I've seen it. Sorry, that's my dog.
That's okay.
I've seen the movie, I think, pop up here and there on different streaming platforms, but never was really interested in watching it because I don't think I ever knew what the movie really was.
Yeah.
So going into this, I knew nothing about it. I didn't know. I didn't read a synopsis, anything. And yeah, I enjoyed it because at times the story was kind of straightforward as to who the killer was. We didn't have to go through this whole mystery of that. And then other times it wasn't as straightforward. It kept me guessing. Like when the movie started, I thought the main girl in the beginning.
Uh-oh.
Lance is about to, we might lose Lance.
Sorry, guys. Had to grab a Scooby snack for this one.
I was saying, Lance, I was saying basically how there was times when the movie I didn't have to guess, that it was pretty straightforward, like with who the killer was and what his motivations was. But then other times, like when the movie started, I thought this was the main girl we were going to follow through the movie.
Yeah, me too.
And talking about the detective?
No, the girl at the very beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did the
crackhead.
Scream thing a little bit there.
They kind of make you get invested in her life to show you she's getting ready to go out on the street. She's, getting high. When she's getting dressed, you see bruises all over her body.
Right.
You see she has a kid. You get introduced to all these things about her, and then she gets murdered like 10 minutes into the movie, and then you're okay. This is not who we're following.
Right.
and then you get introduced to who we're actually following, and then I thought she did a phenomenal job throughout the movie playing this character, which I think this was based off true events that happened around a certain time a few years ago.
Ooh,
Yeah,
that's a creepy thought.
and just her investigation and having to deal with being a woman and not being taken seriously, and then when the guy, and then what kind of just blew me away when the guy got caught, he was not afraid at all for what he believed in what he did, and he had people supporting him.
Mm-hmm.
And then what blew me away even more is how delusional this guy was, that he's actually having conversations that aren't really happening, like that whole jail scene at the end when he thought the higher ups were coming in and telling him, look man, this is how we're going to break you out, and we're going to have a car waiting for you, and then it cuts to the scene of him holding his hand out like he's shaking someone's hand, but there's nobody there.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And I thought that scene was just crazy, to where they're about to hang him and he's like, where's the car, what's going on? And everybody's kind of like, we don't know what you're talking. And I really thought it was going that way, because when the reporter was like, he was supposed to get his 100 lashes,
right,
and they went in and they faked that whole thing, and I'm like, okay, they're really about to break him out, and that's not how it went. And I just thought this was a phenomenal movie from start to finish. I do need to watch it again, because like I've said many times, I kind of get some of the dialogue lost in subtitles because I'm watching what's going on and not looking down below.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a movie I'd definitely check out again. I thought it was a great pick.
Yeah. Probably more thriller than horror.
Crime, mystery.
Well, I mean, it's kind of like Seven or Silence of the Lambs. It's in that territory, right?
That makes sense. Like crime thriller, but like true life stuff, which is cool.
Yeah, it's from our friends over at the Nightmare Junkhead podcast. They like to use the word horror adjacent.
Yes,
there was some horrific things going on in here, and he's a serial killer, So.
And he had quite a fucking body count, huh?
No shit.
See, he said 16.
Well, yeah, but halfway through the movie, it was already up to 10.
What'd he say? 16 sinners, but it could have been 17, but the coward got away or something like that.
Yeah, I was waiting to see.
Right.
That was her. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Lance, what'd you think?
Yeah, I'm with Brian, man. I mean, this was a well-made movie. It was, man, you talk about dark, dirty, and gritty, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this was, and it's kind of bizarre because, I don't know, there were a lot of scenes like the one where she was in the restaurant and she offered to buy the one girl a sandwich because she was trying to learn more from the ladies of the street, because someone had suggested earlier, why don't you pick one of them to kind of like act as a what was the word they used? Again,
decoy.
We're dealing with some, like a decoy to kind of try to lure this guy in or whatever. And then they like also had some scenes I noticed where it was kind of like a fake out. Like they had her looking around, trying to looking at the city streets, and then you see a guy go by on a motorcycle, but it was a totally different guy.
Yeah.
And then the guy it's just bizarre. It's like all these serial killers, they have a family, and they're like so sweet to the family, But you did notice when that kid hit him in the head with a soccer ball, I thought that little kid was about to get strangled.
Yeah.
He would. The way he was moving, he would have never caught that kid.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm gonna say this. A lot of people say, "What's that, Brian?"
Real quick question: was that not his wife? Because they didn't live together, did they?
She was a lot hotter than the whores. That's for damn sure. They were all like fucking.
I was just confused because it seemed like the wife and kids were never home.
Never. And maybe that was part of his, narrator.
Because it kind of seemed really like there was something going on. Because maybe I'm just looking more into it, but like when he goes to her family's, that seemed like he goes to her parents' house for dinner. The father clearly does not like him because he can't take his eyes off him. And I wonder if it's because of their living arrangements because
Maybe.
it just kind of felt like
Yeah.
maybe the kids came around when she had to go to work or something.
Okay, so this plays into the point I was going to make was that like okay, so really like even though it's a totally different culture than America, it's kind of like almost like we all do things the same way. Like you have the sandwich shop that the hookers are coming into, and as much as the society that particular society in general, we could go on forever, and I do not want to turn this into a political podcast, but at least women have gained some rights here that they haven't in countries like this, and there's a lot of similarities, right? I mean, people are going to sin. People are going to enjoy the things they're going to enjoy, whether it be opium, alcohol, hookers, whatever. And they're always going to try to hide it, right? So they're going to like, I've got this perfect family, and I'm this super religious person, and yet I fucking kill people. It's like the similarities I think are much closer than the differences are, like from one culture to the other. But I do think it's kind of interesting in that I don't know if it's true, but I heard a rumor that like, did you mention it in trivia? Is that where I read it, Philip? That they had to change the lead actress because
Yeah,
the
because
person
she
was
doesn't want
afraid.
to act without a hijab.
Yeah, and I mean that's bullshit, dude. I mean, man,
Well, didn't they have a
I
girl
don't
that
know
just
what.
got killed over there for that?
I think so.
That's a big deal. Like
Yeah.
there was somebody who got killed by the morality police, and I noticed they mentioned that a couple of times. So
Yeah,
yeah, it's like
in the scene when she got to the hotel in the beginning, some of her hair was out, and he was like, "Cover your hair."
Mm-hmm.
And then he brought up the morality police, and she was just like,
Yep,
"That's
right.
why I
We
liked her
we could get
character
in
because she
trouble.
was just like, basically, cover my hair, shut the fuck up, get my room."
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, she was like a fucking hard boiled detective. She was a great character.
And they were giving her the business until she was like, "Hey, I'm a journalist," and then they were like, "Oh, you know what? We got your room ready. That error was
right.
fixed."
Yeah, imagine that.
He did the fake typing on the keyboard. He was
Mhm.
like, "Oh,
We've all seen that before. Kind of like Tim Curry in Home Alone 2, right?
yeah."
Yeah.
Where he looks like the Grinch. Yeah, no, this was a really good movie, just fucking dark and dingy and beautifully filmed. I mean, it was incredibly well shot.
And you know where it continued to get dark? When she watched that video of her interviewing his son. And he was like, people asked, "Am I going to continue my father's work?" And he was just like, "Wait and see."
Yeah.
Wow, boy, if that doesn't keep you up at night, nothing will.
Then he demonstrated how his father killed the women using his little sister.
Yeah, that was creepy as hell.
And then
the fact that everybody was like, yeah, he was doing a good thing was
the wife was all for it because he was
cleaning up the streets, right?
Yeah.
The cops will be happy with it because you're keeping the street clean. They don't give a damn. Yeah, I mean this does have a lot to say about that culture and how repressive it is, but I don't know. I was kind of looking at it as a mirror to our society here because in some ways, like women have got a lot more rights here and stuff like that, but in some ways they're kind of treated the same way. Like, when's the last time we had a female president? I really need to shut up. I don't want to go on political tangents here.
Well, if you're
It's
a
just
sex
there's
worker,
so many double standards,
I support you. I know. I've known a couple, and that's what you choose to do, and you're not hurting nobody, hurting yourself, then it's your body.
Yeah, all right. I'm not gonna say anything.
Yeah, let's not go there. So why did he choke all of them with the scarf or whatever? I didn't pick up on that. Was that just his modus operandi or what?
Yeah, I think it was just his thing.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, and because one of them tried to like, I don't know, he didn't want one of them to touch him or something.
Right. Oh, the one that called him Fuzzy Bear?
Yeah. So I mean,
I thought that one was gonna get away because she was she showing her stuff to him, and he was just like, ah.
And never go after the big ones again.
Yeah, I was about to say she might could actually kick his ass. He kind of got lucky on that one, but Yeah, it's this was a good pick, man. This was it's a lot to think about. And I'm with you, Brian. This one's worth a rewatch for sure.
Mhm.
It's kind of challenging for us sometimes to keep up with the subtitles, especially when it's that different of a society. So if I'm watching a movie with, and maybe it's just because I know quite a bit of Spanish, and some of that's because of my family, but if I'm watching a movie in Spanish, sometimes I can just watch the movie and just kind of hear the words. And even though every third or fourth word I don't understand, I catch enough of it that I kind of know exactly what's going on. But
Mhm.
with this one, like the language is so different from what we're used to in the Western world,
Mhm.
like if it's a European language or Spanish or something like that, I think it's a lot easier for us to relate to. But this particular movie, I just kind of I did have that problem with that myopia where I kept having to look at the subtitles, and
It,
there was a lot of talking in this movie.
Yeah.
this
So
this
you
movie
were
could have
having to
this
watch.
movie could have been in English with English subtitles, and I still would have looked at it.
Yeah. They were
It's-
talking fast too.
I can't help it. I just, even if I don't need the subtitles, my eyes still. What are these words down here flashing?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's boy, man, between this one and the next movie we're going to talk about, there's definitely some common themes.
Yeah.
A lot
That's
of
why-
those
why I
two
wanna-
paired together make sense.
Yeah, that's
Right.
why I want to know where did the first movie come from?
Yeah.
just to give us a maybe we should have watched it in the middle to be like the sorbet, the
Oh.
palate cleanser. I don't
I
know.
watched it last.
Did you?
Yeah. And I was like, is this the right movie?
I think we're all talking about the same movie, so I think it was
Yeah.
the right one.
Yeah, no, I agree with what you guys said, man. It was very gritty and dirty. A really cool, like, sort of a crime drama, except you knew who done it from the beginning.
Mhm.
And but which I thought kind of added to it. It was a cool, like, almost documentary style film.
Yeah,
Which
that's
I
true,
enjoyed.
man. A lot of it looked very realistic in certain parts, didn't it? Like
Mhm.
too realistic.
Yeah, and it had definitely some creepy moments towards the end with the kid who's gonna possibly carry on his father's work.
The family tradition.
Yeah, it was a trip, man. And I never would have watched this movie otherwise.
Yeah, I
it was-
never
it was
even heard
interesting.
of it. I never even heard of it, honestly.
All right. Brian, what do you think about scores?
8 out of 10. I thought it was a
Nice.
solid story, solid acting. I was invested in the characters. I was invested to see if she would get closer to catching him, and then I was invested in him to seeing if he was going to get caught, because he, as ruthless of a killer he was very fucking sloppy with the way he did everything.
Was that on purpose, though? To an extent, maybe.
Some of
Like,
it,
did he want to get caught? Maybe.
I don't think he wanted to get caught, because when she got away, when she became the decoy,
Mhm.
and she went to his house and she ended up having an altercation with him and getting away,
Mhm.
he curled up in a little fetus and cried on his bed because he knew he fucked up and it was done.
God was gonna punish him, right?
But I think as he started to go through the trial, and people were laughing at his jokes and kind of cheering him, his confidence kind of grew. He was like, "Oh, I got the support of the people. Nothing's gonna happen to me." And then his whole delusional meeting with everybody of how he's gonna escape, or not even escape, they're just gonna let him out and take him away in a car to freedom.
Yeah, it's people.
Kind of Joker-esque.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I really,
I
yeah,
can see
yeah.
that. There
I
was
really,
some-
and
yeah.
the movie had me going. I was, especially like I said, when they did the fake 100 lashes and they were just beating the wall, and he was just like, ah, ah. I was like, they're really letting this fucking guy go. And then they were like, nope, here, put this rope around your neck.
Right.
All right,
So-
Lance, what do you think?
So there's this old saying that, well, I don't know how old it is, but there's a saying that people will say, like, when something fucked up happens, And then they turn around and say, well, this is why we're not allowed to have nice things, like when somebody makes a mess after a party or something like that. To me, this movie is telling me, well, this is why we shouldn't be allowed to have religion. Now that's going to get some clicks. I probably shouldn't have said it that way, but God damn it. This guy was a fucking religious nut. And this religious zealousy, it does lead to a lot of problems. And I think the filmmaker's aware of that. I'm kind of surprised this film was able to be made. And I'm not too shocked about that trivia that they were worried the one woman wouldn't do the part because she was worried there'd be, backlash. But man, anytime you think, and yeah, America has its faults and we're fucked up and we have a lot of problems, but God damn it, man, we're not this repressive of a society.
I've always said if you really think America's that racist, visit literally anywhere else.
All right, I'm going to tell you guys a quick story, and I don't know if it's true or not, but it was told to me by a guy that I used to work for, and he used to work in the oil and gas industry, and he went to Saudi Arabia. And of course, you got to realize this was about 20 years ago probably that I heard this. But he said, so I was out there one time, Lance, and he said, I actually literally saw a guy that was driving a pickup truck. And so, you've got the bed of the truck, and then ideally you've got two chairs in the front, right? A chair for the driver, a chair for the passenger. He said this guy had taken the passenger chair out, and he had his donkey in the passenger area sitting inside the truck. You know where I'm going here? And he said, and he had a woman in a burqa sitting in the back of the fucking truck.
Oh.
Now that's fucked up.
Yeah, a little bit.
So anyway, yeah, no, this was a good movie. This was first of all, it shows you that no matter where you are in the world, we all have the same desires, we all have the same sins, we all have the same shortcomings. It's very, very, very difficult to envision a world where we can actually have a society where human beings treat each other as equals. But man, this took it to the nth degree. This guy was a fucker. So, and yeah, quite a body count. And like you guys were talking about the sun. Whew, that's a lot of poisoning of the well there. So this was a tough one, man. This was rough to get through, but that's why I have to give this one a 7.75. This isn't quite up there with like what I would consider the creme de la creme of 2022 movies. Like this would not displace any of my top 10, but it might have been an honorable mention, if we had seen it last year. So yeah, good movie. It's hard to watch, man. It's a tough one.
Random observation. They drink a lot of Fanta in that country.
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
Yellow Fanta. Remember the guy ordered yellow Fanta? Or maybe that was a little problem where we didn't quite translate it the right way.
No,
I'm
they
sure
were
Maybe they were a
lemon.
sponsor.
They were ordering different flavors of Fanta throughout the movie.
It's like when you watch a movie and there's Pepsi everywhere. You're like, all right, well, we know
Right.
who paid for this one.
Pepsi.
Score film.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a solid 7. I think it was definitely
Nice.
worth a watch. I probably won't watch it again. It's not the kind of movie you want to rewatch
Yeah,
a
it's
bunch of
rough,
times.
man. It's rough. It's rough.
But yeah, very, very well made. I thought the lead actress did a hell of a job. And man, good movie.
Yeah. Good pick, Jeff. Thanks.
Yeah. All right, we'll move on to Candyland 2023. Didn't even know this movie existed.
I did, because I've heard a lot of buzz about this movie. I've
Yeah.
heard at least 3 or 4 podcasters giving accolades to this. So let's see how it goes.
A seemingly naive and devout young woman navigates her way into the underground world of truck stop sex workers, aka lot lizards. Director and writer is John Schwab, also known for Bodie Brokers and Little Dixie. I don't know what that is.
I thought you were about to say something else, but okay.
Just a matter of weeks prior to shooting, the production moved from Oklahoma to Montana. One of the primary locations, the Lazy J Motel, also appears in The Horse Whisperer. Oh.
That movie.
Okay. Interesting.
Lance, what'd you think about Candyland?
I didn't know what to expect. Like I said, this movie was really. Oh, and I guess we're gonna do a spoiler alert on this one, right? Since it's a 2023.
Yeah.
Okay, so spoiler free. I really didn't know exactly what to expect. I had an idea. I had no idea though that they were gonna introduce yet again. Here we go talking about religion and the dangers and the poisons of religion. There's a theme going tonight for sure, but. Yeah, I would say that this is one of those. First of all, I definitely did not recognize William Baldwin. Did you, Brian? At
Yeah,
first?
I mean, I never know which Baldwin it is, but I
Okay.
was like, that's definitely a Baldwin.
All right, so there's a movie that came out, I don't know, 5 or 6 years ago, The Florida Project. Have you guys seen that one?
No.
It sounds
Uh,
familiar.
You should check it out. It's
Does it have
the Green Goblin.
Willem Dafoe? Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, Willem Dafoe. I think he actually won. Didn't he win Best Supporting Actor for his role in it? I think he did. So, Philip, I'm talking about that movie, The Florida Project.
Mm-hmm.
Lots and lots and lots of similarities to that movie with this one for me, because it's like a real underbelly type movie. Like, for example, okay, so let's say that you're driving cross country and you stop at a gas station to fill up or whatever and go in and grab some snacks, use the bathroom, and you kind of see these sketchy people and you're like, I know there's a story there, but you don't want to dig too deep, right? So this is that story that you see and you don't want to acknowledge or dig too deep, right? So there's actually people that live this way, and it was a pretty interesting way to present it. I thought it was a great twist, and we're not getting into spoilers yet. I think we're going to do the alert, so I won't say too much. But there was definitely the interesting twist that there was the the male sex worker.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like thinking, okay, this is all going to be like female hookers or whatever. But you've got the male character there, and
Levi.
Yeah, and interestingly enough, he's not gay. He just happens to make money doing it, so he kind of does it. Like, that just kind of shows you how the desperation of people and how people
He just likes to party.
Well, and people will do what they have to do to survive, right?
That was his line, yeah.
Yeah, people are just kind of living on the fringes like this, and
hey, $20 is $20.
I think I think it was a good decision to use mostly relatively unknown people in this, so it almost kind of felt like you guys said the last one almost looked like a real life thing or a documentary. I thought this one captured that pretty well also. Yeah, definitely did not recognize William Baldwin for like the first 30 minutes until I realized, wait a minute, that's a Baldwin brother.
Yeah, I knew it was one of them.
Yeah, but man, it was he did to me. He did a pretty good job of like, this is just some random dude, and then I'm like, wait, he looks really familiar. Yeah, and then when you bring the other character in, and here we go again talking about religion, Philip, and the dangers therein, and taking it too far.
This is so much a religion or a cult.
That's a good point. So I'm gonna, I don't want to go into spoilers, so I'm just gonna leave it on. This was a pretty brave movie to make. I mean, something like this, it's definitely not a Five Nights at Freddy's that is going to have 16 billion streams on Peacock and $200 million on opening hour and stuff like that. This is just like a nice little indie, dirty, filthy movie, and yeah, I definitely enjoyed the fact that they did that, and then as the kids like to say, they went there. So yeah, it's a good movie. I enjoyed it.
All right, Brian, what'd you think?
Hold on, I was trying to see which Baldwin is it. No, I thought this was the Biodome Baldwin. This is Backdraft Baldwin.
Patrick Baldwin, yeah.
Patrick Baldwin.
Biodome Baldwin.
They all kind of. I mean, when they were younger, you kind of could tell the difference. You
Right?
can tell they were related, but you can tell the difference. Now that they got older, they just like grew into
Yeah.
the same person.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, this isn't the Cat in the Hat Baldwin. So
Which one was that?
Alec.
Oh,
Although for a second I was like, that's not Alec Baldwin. Oh, it's one of the
Did
other
ya?
ones.
Okay. So they got you, huh?
For a second.
this is my second time seeing this movie. I seen it earlier this year, and I liked it then, and I still like it now. I think it's a great movie. It's shot well. It kind of had a old school kind of grittiness to it, especially with when the credits were rolling and the title card came up. It kind of had that old school font to it.
Kind of like a grindhouse type thing.
Yeah, I
It was
agree,
set in
Lance.
the 90s, and they stuck it.
Yeah, I agree with you, Lance. I like that they used relatively unknown, because I didn't, other than I think I maybe seen the one guy Levi in something before, but the only
Okay.
one off the top of my head I could say that I knew was William Baldwin.
But what
Billy
about the
Baldwin.
madam? She's been in something, right?
The Madam.
I don't know. Is that
I love that.
is that
man.
not the right truck stop
No,
terminology?
it is. I think that is the right terminology. The Madam.
She's been in.
She looked familiar.
She
The
was in
female
American.
pimp.
She was in American Psycho, and
Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
she was
so
in
we've
that
seen
show, The L Word.
I never seen that.
Never saw
Oh.
that. Okay.
They weren't talking about love.
They were talking
Uh,
about labias.
Yes,
I don't know if I pronounced that correctly, but okay.
but I enjoyed the whole religious cult aspect into mixing it in with these sex worker lot lizards,
Mm-hmm.
because that's what they call themselves, lot lizards, in this movie. So
Sure.
don't anybody get mad.
Oh, that's what I've always heard them called.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that you
I've heard
kind of
that
got
too.
it. You kind of got a peek into this world, and how they even broke down how they do things, the different areas of the truck stop they work at, the little signals, code words.
Oh yeah, they did get into a lot of that, didn't they?
Yeah, the tapping the foot underneath the bathroom stall,
Yeah.
wasn't there? I'm pretty sure there was a politician somewhere that got.
Yeah, there was a politician that did that.
Yeah,
Sometimes radio-
that scene was crazy, because he was like, I could tell by the way they walk in, casual, or something about the way they walk. He got to piss. If they come running in, they got to take a shit.
Yeah.
But if they come in casually, I just tap my foot, and then they tap back.
There was some radio guy that did like a morning radio host. After that politician thing happened, he did like a little parody song that was tap 3 times on the floor if you want me. All right, I know that's corny. It was funny listening to it though. Sorry, Brian.
Yeah. Forgot what I was gonna say now. Oh, the main girl. I'm trying to look her up. The religious cult girl,
Oh, her.
Right,
Remy.
Cult Girl. Sure.
Olivia Liccardo. I thought she did a fantastic job.
Yeah, for sure.
Because I got the religious kind of the religiousness of her character, but then it kind of just switched, and you saw that craziness come out. That
Yes.
I gotta cleanse these people. Are you about to talk about her teeth?
No, her eyes, man.
Oh,
She's got some seriously dark circles around. She looks like she's using heroin the whole time. I'm like, you're not that
Probably
religious,
was.
Well,
Probably was.
we'll get into that in spoilers, but I thought there was something else wrong with her that
Yeah.
she brings up about a family member of hers.
Her teeth.
Okay,
Well, that probably is where she got her teeth.
right.
But I just liked how they introduce her character, because the same way with Holy Spider is when I said the guy, you get introduced to the main girl, and you're not sure if she's who you're gonna follow, who you're not gonna follow.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of think she's the killer, but then you kind of think she's not the killer,
Okay.
and you don't know where the movie's going with it.
Don't give too much away yet, Brian.
I won't. And I thought it was just well acted, and then we got a lot of blood in here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And if people are not comfortable and you want to watch the movie based off our review, there is some rape that happens in this movie, and it's kind of disturbing.
Yeah, it's a pretty gritty movie, man, and it lets you know that in the first 10 minutes because I turned it on
Yeah.
and like my kid was playing video games in the background, and like
Uh-oh.
I had to fast forward through a scene real quick at the very beginning,
Yeah.
and then another scene popped up, and I was like, all right, maybe
You-
now's not the
you were
time
like,
for
Straight
this.
fast forward.
Basically, what Phil's talking about is you get to see one of the workers make her rounds within the first 10 minutes of the movie,
Yeah.
and they're pretty much showing everything.
Sure.
Yeah, full
And
frontal
why
in the first
wouldn't
10
it?
minutes.
I mean, yeah, that's the kind of movie we're in for here, right?
and
But
not
yeah.
like in a sexy way.
It's not the sexy time.
But one of the things that
My
kind
wife.
one of the things that kind of scares me in real life is cults, religious fanatics.
Oh, we love cult horror, don't we, Philip?
I thought we were gonna start one.
Well, we were on mushrooms when we had that conversation, dude.
okay.
So that's all that
But we'll get more to them in a second. But yeah, I had a great time watching this movie.
Yeah, man. Me too. It at first, I mean, it sort of hit you in the face with it in that first 10 minutes, like I was saying, but
Mm-hmm.
it kind of lets you know what kind of movie this is going to be. And I didn't think I was going to be into it. I was like, all right, that's too much. I don't need all that shit in my movie.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
But the further I got into it, the more connected I got to these characters. And I guess I can't really give too much away, but I like the twists and turns of the movies. I didn't see it coming. And they really stuck the landing in this one. It had a good
Mhm.
ending. I liked it, man. It was a really good movie. Very well acted. That Levi guy knocked it out of the park. He did really well.
They got love. What were they? Snowballs.
Yeah.
Oh!
I guess I hadn't quite put that together in my head before, but here
They
we are.
loved their truck stop snacks, didn't they?
All right. So you guys want to go into? Well, I guess we'll do scores before spoilers.
Yeah.
Lance, what do you think?
It's an 8. It's an 8. It's in the running. So
Okay.
yeah, I'm glad that I watched this. I'm not it's not one of those movies that I want to like have a party and have a bunch of people over and say,
No,
"Hey,
probably not.
let's check out I got a new movie for you guys to watch.
We're gonna
Let's
play a
watch-
game called "How Uncomfortable Can We Make Everybody in the Room?"
Oh, speaking of uncomfortable, okay? So, you know how they made the Barbie movie and the Battleship movie and all these movies based on games and toys and shit like that? There's actually a Candyland game or movie coming out based on the game. I don't think it's
Oh.
going to be the same thing.
No, probably
And
not.
I'm shocked that they didn't get sued. And maybe they did. Maybe they are. I don't know. But yeah,
like
Maybe
games
it's the
from,
way.
like, the
Maybe it's the
fucking
way they
30s.
wrote Candyland. Isn't the game like one word?
I think you're right.
Yeah.
I think that's it, Brian. I think
It's
that's how
it's
they
the
got
little,
around
it's
it.
the little loopholes.
Loopholes are worth their weight in gold, man. But this is a great, gritty, dirty indie movie with a huge twist of a character that you think is going to be doing one thing and ends up doing something totally different. And yes, I love the cult aspect. So yeah, it's an 8 on 10. It's a good movie.
All right, Brian.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the 8. I liked it just as much as Holy Spider. Similar themes, but two different tones in the movies. The
Okay.
Holy Spider kind of seemed like a little bit more realistic to me.
You think so? I thought this one
Just-
was uncomfortably realistic.
Yeah, I mean, if you had to tell me I had to pick a movie, what I thought was gonna happen before the other movie, I would go with Holy Spider.
Well,
Then-
yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
one of them was
okay.
based on real
I see what
things, and the
you're
other
saying.
one gets
Yes,
obviously
I
a
get
little
it. I get
movie.
it.
But I still enjoyed them the same, so I have to give it an 8 as well.
I'm gonna go a little higher. I'm gonna give it an 8.5.
Nice.
Yeah, I started this movie not really expecting to enjoy it, and then it grew on me a lot, and I was like, wow, that was a really good movie. So take that for what it's worth.
It's
Worth watching.
it's kind of haunting, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's kind of one of those there, but by the grace of God go I. Like, could you imagine one of your children or grandchildren ending up like this? I mean,
No, that would not be okay with me.
it's some rough stuff, man. Rough
I
stuff.
support sex workers too, as long as they're somewhere else.
Like I said, you go in and get your snacks at the gas station and look the other way. It's kind of like
Yeah.
when some crazy fucking dude comes out trying to wash your windshield and you're like looking in this direction, right?
Yeah.
But like to the nth degree. So yeah, it can make you uncomfortable.
What, getting your windshield washed?
That's kind of uncomfortable too, actually.
I don't mind. I don't ever wash my windows.
The crazy homeless guy.
Yeah,
Like
the only problem with that, Brian, is that
some
a lot of
dirty
the
ass
time-
gutter water
Yeah,
and
I
a
was about to say,
newspaper.
they're not always using the cleanest water to wash.
I just feel bad because I don't carry cash or change.
Yeah, sometimes I do. Sometimes I give them like, or when I used to smoke, I would give them like cigarettes. And I never will forget this one dude. He was like begging for money, and I gave him like 3 cigarettes. He was like, "Oh, thanks, man. Oh, awesome, dude. Cool." You know, it's like the greatest thing ever. You know.
You
But,
did a good thing then, Lance.
I guess that was my, yeah. The lung cancer was my gift to him.
On that note, spoilers.
Spoilers.
Yeah, I couldn't really say nothing in the earlier review, but
You're talking about that badass crucifix.
yeah, her transition from kind of a meek, religious, young, not naive girl.
Yeah,
to
at first I
just-
thought they were just like Mormon or something.
Were they?
Oh, I kind of got
they
it
were-
early
it was just
before
some
the
cult.
review.
Okay.
I kind of got it early before the review because he was
Okay.
talking about leaving.
Oh,
Right?
that makes
Kept
sense.
talking about when we leave,
Mhm.
and it just something just the way he was saying it in his body language. He's not talking about eventually leaving. He's talking about we're going to be
Yeah.
leaving soon.
Sure. Yeah, that may be uncomfortable too.
The end really is near.
Just,
But yeah,
it's as near as they want it to be.
that reveal of her being the killer just kind of it got me. I didn't really the way she was playing it before, and then she just switched when she killed that the priest who was going down on her when the guy that took his teeth out to go down on her.
Yeah, that
Because
was
not
a
only
creepy,
did she
weird scene.
did she kill him, she broke his neck
Right.
with her thighs.
Wow. What a way to
GoldenEye
go.
style.
What a way to
And then-
go.
And then she also not only did that, but she seemed to enjoy it. So I kind of felt like there was something else wrong with her because it didn't come off like she was cleansing anything.
Yeah.
And that made me think because she mentions that when that guy, the religious guy from the cult, came back to talk to her to have her come back, and they brought up her mom saying she was sick and she was losing it.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Did she have the same illness or mental illness possibly?
I'm sure. Yeah, sure. It was some kind of crazy.
That makes sense.
Or she
Yeah,
was
'cause
like, "You guys are in a cult. I'm getting the fuck out."
that mental illness can't
Well,
be
no.
hereditary.
If you guys remember, she was there. They weren't down with what she was talking about. She was talking about cleansing other people.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the guy was
that's
like,
right.
"No." He was like, "No, we need to cleanse ourselves to go to the
Sure.
next level." And she was like, "No, me and my mom. This is what we believe. We believe in cleansing other people."
Mm-hmm.
So
I was just like,
For-
she's fucking out her mind.
sending people to
their-
the next life, huh?
For their own good.
They got to
So
catch
And
that
what-
comet.
reap the benefits of the next
And another
level.
thing that really got me in this movie is nobody lived other than Billy Baldwin.
Yeah.
Right.
even the girl who you eventually, okay, this is the main girl. This is the final
The
girl.
final girl, right?
Nope,
Sure.
she gets it in the
Didn't
end
happen.
too.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a brutal movie, man, and there were some pretty damn good kills. You know, I mean, there's a lot to be said for this film. I'm kind of curious what the director's going to do next. I would imagine that somebody is going to see this movie, especially with all the downtime they've got between the writer's strike and now the actor's strike. Somebody's going to see this movie and say, let's give them
Let's see.
Oh, yeah.
$20 million
sure.
and see what they can do.
John
you know?
Schwab.
Not Suave, like Rico.
How old are you, Lance?
Pretty fucking old, man.
Rico Suave.
His little bandana.
I do not recognize anything that he has coming up. I have not heard of any of these movies.
Okay. Well, give it time, man. We'll check again in 6 months, right?
Yeah, one of these days we might look back on this and like, oh, you guys remember when he did Candyland? That was where he got to start.
Now is the time to interview this guy.
Good point.
I think I'm gonna reach out. Why
He's
not?
got
Right?
a crime thriller called King Ivory coming out next year.
Okay.
He also has an action thriller called BRBS. So it looks like he's just not in one genre movie. Then he has another movie called Land of Grace, which is an action crime drama. So
I thought you were gonna say sex romp comedy.
Well, and
that's Candyland 2.
the writing in this one was pretty spectacular too,
Yeah,
man. Like
for
I
sure.
love the way they wrapped it up. I love that nobody lived
Mhm.
except William Baldwin, which was fine. You know,
Mhm.
I think
Yeah, he was
him
kind of the
living was cool.
outside observer. You
I
know?
kind of wanted to know more about his character because he
Yeah.
was fully into Levi, but Levi's not gay, so
Yeah.
he was kind of
Yeah.
refusing his advances. Well, business-wise, he would accept his advances, but anything else, he was just kind of like, "No, don't touch me." Which
Yeah.
that scene was kind of uncomfortable. After Levi gets raped, and then
Oh yeah.
Billy Baldwin still tries to, like, he's asking a question, "How
Yeah.
is your bottom okay?"
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then later he makes an advance at him in the car when they're disposing of a body.
Yeah.
I'm like, are you the fucking killer? Because you're giving off
No
some
kidding.
really weird, creepy vibes.
It was like that axe murdering hitchhiker guy.
Oh yeah, that they
Yeah,
did the
that's sort of
Netflix
what happened to
documentary.
him.
Yeah, true.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. Well, I thought it was documented pretty much at this point, Philip.
Yeah, but I'm not sure if anybody knows exactly what happened, but it seems like he probably got taken advantage of by some old dude and then murdered him with an axe.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, no,
Well,
no, he didn't murder him with an axe. He just murdered him outright. The guy he murdered with an axe was like in the middle of hurting somebody
Then he was a hero.
that time.
Who knows?
Until he murdered the next guy.
All right. Well, there's really not much more to spoil, right? We want everybody to see this movie.
Yeah,
Yeah, definitely. For sure worth it. And
it
yeah.
is on Tubi, so it's free for everybody to watch.
Cool. And the last time I watched a Tubi movie, guys, no commercials. I don't know how
Yeah.
I pulled it off.
Oh,
But yeah, apparently every once in a while you'll get a movie with no commercials. I guess if they couldn't find a sponsor for
Yeah,
I
that.
don't think I remember seeing commercials in this one.
I'm gonna start doing this for like some of the older release movies. I'm gonna start telling people where they can stream them.
I like that. Yeah.
The Initiation is on Tubi.
Yep.
Holy Spider is on Netflix.
Yes,
and
it is.
Candyland is also on Tubi. So
There you go. So Jeff made it easy for all of us. So big shout out to Jeff Larimore, our #1 guy. So as far as you guys listening, we want to thank you all for listening to another episode of The Horror Returns. You know where to find us. We don't know if we're going to still be on Facebook. We don't know if we're going to try X. We don't know if we're going to try Twitter. Oh, wait, that's the same thing. We may even go back to the Chinese one. What's it called?
Well,
TikTok.
Lance,
I've always wanted to try X.
We are already on Twitter.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, help us out, Brian. Tell our listeners where they can find us.
Facebook, Twitter /X, Instagram, Tumblr, TikTok.
Okay.
I don't understand Tumblr, so I don't post as much on there.
I didn't know it was still around.
It's there, man, and we got to find a way to see if this Discord is worth getting into. So I am going to talk to some of our good friends at the Legion podcast, of which we have several really good friends with awesome podcasts, and ask them how that works. Maybe we'll join the ranks of Discord. So, again, as always, we definitely want to thank you for listening to us. Appreciate Brian sharing the media links that I don't know. My edible is starting to kick in slowly but surely.
I see you fading.
Next week, at long last, it is the Super Network's very special commentary of Ricky O, the story of Ricky. Now, anybody seen this movie out of our group? Because I haven't.
Yeah, I have
Yes.
seen it a few times.
I saw it
Okay.
once after we talked about it for March Madness.
And Lance, I'll just
All
let you know without spoiling it, this commentary will probably not go on YouTube.
Then let's do what we can, man, to get it out there on the audio waves at least. So, Philip, until the horror returns again.
Good night.
All right. That's a wrap. You guys, Pedro
I still
said he's.
can't stop the fucking recording. I don't know what's going on.
That's all right. Brian, hopefully you got a backup going just in case, man.